Well, Harry's dead. Harry. Um, I have been so ready for someone to be, snatched and relocated. I've been waiting for someone to be outside of a window with a hoodie on and it's dark. I have been waiting for, touch her and I will delete you. Like, that is what I've been craving. All right. I am coming to you again with a stack of books that I want to read for April. I don't know if I'll get through all of these books, but this is not all of them. This is not all of them, but it's some of them. So buckle up. We're okay. Everything's okay. All right, I have a stack of books right here. This is the first stack. I have another stack behind it. Let's talk about the books that I would like to read in April. Let me just slide these back. Can it slide it? There we go. Yep. Now, first things first. There are 34 books. 34 books that I have grabbed that I know are like more so my priority reads. Do I think I'm going to read all of them next month? No, I don't. But this is just kind of like my main focus books for April, okay? So like my tentative TBR, because I don't stick to TBRs, but this is just kind of what I'm, again, my focus. Now, first things first, I was really sure that I was going to read just a bunch of dark romance. I set out all of my dark romance books. I have been so ready for someone to be, snatched and relocated. I've been waiting for someone to be outside of a window with a hoodie on and it's dark. I have been waiting for, touch her and I will delete you. Like, that is what I've been craving because I've read quite a few rom-coms this month for Arc March. Those were the arcs that I had. They were pretty much all rom-coms. So, or as close to a rom-com as they can get. They weren't dark romances. That's what I'm trying to say. So I was like, you know what? I'm ready for something dark. And then I read Among the Willows, which is a cowboy romance. So now I've been thrown off. So I really want to start Flawless. I just really want to start Flawless. I've had Flawless and my other Elsie Silver books for quite a while, and I am ready to go ahead and hop into this one. But when I find out that books are like interconnected and I have the other series, I feel like I need to start with Off to the Races. That's just me. I desperately want to read Flawless, but I would feel better mentally if I go ahead and start with this one first and read the Gold Rush Ranch series, then move on to Flawless and Hopeless and Reckless and all of that, and then move on to like, what are the other ones? Hold on. I can't even remember. Oh, I was right. Wild Love, Wild Eyes, and Wild Side. So that is what I'm thinking. That's my game plan for my Elsie Silver books, is to start off with Off to the Races, then go into the series, then go to Wild Love and all of that. So I can actually put this one back because I'm not going to read it yet. So this one is going to go on my TBR cart. Just going to stack it right there. Next. Oh, I also want to say really quickly, I am ready to be just utterly sick, obsessed with a series and a book again. That is what I want. I want to be laughing, screaming, crying, throwing up. That is the goal here, okay? Because I've really enjoyed the books that I've been reading, and Among the Willows gave me that feeling again, because I'm once again desperately waiting for a sequel to come out. I do this to myself all of the time. All the time. I trick myself into thinking, hey, it's not going to matter if you read this book now. Who cares if the sequel's not out? No one cares. You'll be fine. You have plenty of other books to read. And then I read it, and I'm sick to my stomach because I don't have a sequel. So currently I'm waiting for Among the Willows sequel, and I'm also waiting for my Jaime and Eve book to come out, the third book. We'll touch on that later because there's a book in here that I'm going to reference. Now, oh, I'm missing a book. Hold on. So how many books did I say? 33, 34. I don't know, but add another to that number. Hold on. I'm back. I'm ready to dive into the Zodiac Academy world. I think it'll be fun. I know this is a reverse harem, and that's all I know. That's all I needed to know. I'm very easy. I have to say this too. When it comes to book recs for me, I hope you guys know that I'm extremely biased. I'm very easily entertained, and it's very easy to please me with books. I'm like, wow, there are letters and words on this page. There's a title. I'm very easy to please, okay? It's just that simple. Not that I don't appreciate like a genuinely well-written book, but if I have a good time, that's all that matters. So if I don't like a book, that's why it's very shocking to my brother, because I don't tell you guys. I don't post negative reviews. That's just me personally. I don't care if someone does. I just know I'm a little bit more sensitive to things that I like. So when I know how it feels when someone tells me they don't like something that I like. I'm really sensitive about that, so I don't post those videos, and nor do I comment on other people's videos if they say they don't like a book. I'm not going to comment and be like, well, I love it. Who cares? That's their opinion. So just random little information about me. So I'm ready to jump into Zodiac Academy. I have almost all of the books. I have all of the books for the with the Dark Fae. I forgot what they're called, but those like the Ruthless Boys, something like that. I have all of those books. I have all of the Zodiac Academy books, but I know there's that other series or you know how it's like kind of like with ACOTAR, Throne of Glass, and Crescent City, how they're like all kind of standalones but interconnected, so to speak. Does that make sense? You know, like you have ACOTAR, and that world does kind of coincide with Throne of Glass, which works with Crescent City, but you can read them separately if you want. So with Zodiac Academy, I have the Dark Fae series. I'm just going to call it that because I can't remember what that series is called. Then I have Zodiac Academy. Then there's a series that follows that. I don't have that series. That's what I was trying to get out, okay? Next, Fourth Wing. I still have not finished Fourth Wing. Yeah. I am pretty far. I have like a quarter of the book left, and I'm just ready to go ahead and read Iron Flame and Onyx Storm. And I've said it a million times, but I haven't uploaded all those videos. So the only reason I stopped reading oh my gosh, I was gonna say Firestorm. Just stop it, Lexi. Fourth Wing. The only reason I stopped reading Fourth Wing is because I came across an out of context spoiler that I did not want to know about, and it kind of threw me off from the book. And I don't like to know spoilers, especially towards the end. I don't want to know. So that kind of threw me off. And then I started reading something else. Now I'm back. Again, I've said this multiple times, but I just haven't had time to really dive into Fourth Wing like I want. So I'm ready to do that. Iron Flame, Onyx Storm. There's that. And then Bend Her. I did start reading this on my Kobo. It is a retelling of Beauty and the Beast. It's a dark romance. I like it so far. I'm a couple of chapters in. I cannot remember what chapter I'm on, but I am enjoying it. I think it's a good book, and I'm excited to go ahead and finish it. I know there are some other books in the series. There's like 2 or 3 more books that follow this one. That is why I want to go ahead and read it. The Ever King. I have just seen a few blurbs from the author with this book, and it has just, like, every time I see a blurb, I'm like, oh my gosh, like, I gotta read that book. What book is that? And then I'm like, oh yeah, it's The Ever King. I have it. So, now, first of all, I will say this. I don't want to hear anything about Sophie. Okay, I know people have opinions one way or another about books that they buy, authors that they don't want to buy from, all of the above. This is what I want to read, okay? I love Sophie Lark's books. This is what I want to read next, because it's a dark romance, and I feel like it's going to be darker than the Brutal Birthright series, which I love. Well, I can't, I say I love the series. I've only read the first book multiple times. I have all of the other books. I'm on the second book, still in air, but I keep reading the first book over again because I love it that much. But I am ready to go ahead and read this one, and then they're kind of short to me, so I feel like I can just go ahead and get through them quickly. I have already read this one, Distance. I really liked it, and I saw it in person, and I want to read some of the other books by Luna Mason, so I figure I would go ahead and read this one again. And then I don't know. I think it was the floppiness of the book and the fact that I've never seen it in stores that made me want to go ahead and purchase it, being that I didn't like it the first time around. This one, I know it's a mafia romance. I think he's a serial unaliver, which I am no stranger to with my MMCs. I don't know what this one's about at all, but I like the cover, and that is enough. And I think it's Irish mafia. These two. Now, with these ones, I don't know actually if I'm going to read them. And it's nothing to do with the book. It's the fact that the MMC's name is Hayden, and that is my brother's name. And I do not care to read books that have the same name as my brother or my two boys. So I don't know. And I saw a blurb from this one, and I was just like, oh, that book looks so good. So we'll see. We'll see. You know, I read a book before that had the name Caden in it, and which is one of my son's names, and I just completely blanked it out. Like, I removed it from my brain. So after the first time I saw his name, the rest of the book, I just would not read his name anymore. I would just skip over that word completely. And that's how I got through that book. It was a really good book. It is Black Heart. I cannot remember the author's name, so I'll put like a picture of the book somewhere or the title, something like that. Luna. I'm okay. I love this series. I've read Broken Like You, and this is Villain Era, and Untamed Vixen. Untamed Vixen was really, really good. That comes before this one. This is the second book. And it's funny because I came across Luna's books. I say it like I know her, but we are friends on TikTok. So there's that. I came across Luna Pierce's books because she was making a video about DVP and TVP. And oh, I'm laughing because my mom watches my videos. So that is the D stands for double, or the T in TVP stands for triple, and it's a reverse harem, so it's one female and she has multiple boyfriends, 3 boyfriends, and so you guys just use your imagination or look up Luna's videos and she will explain it to you, okay? But that was the first video that I saw from her, and I'm not going to say that's what convinced me to read her books, but I just liked her. I thought her videos were funny and fun, and she described her books besides DVP and TVP in such a great way that I was like, I'm convinced. Dark Mafia, Reverse Harem, sign me up. I'm ready to go ahead and read this book, okay? I know that was a long, like, random explanation for why I started reading her books, but it's the first thing I thought of. I'm just ready for this one. Okay, the first book was so good, and I have been putting off reading this one. I also have another one of her books. I think it's Ruin My Life. I have that one as well. So I'm ready to go back into that world. Carnal Urges. I love Ruthless Creatures. I have not read this one yet. I've read Ruthless Creatures more than once, and I've also read Pen Pal more than once. I'm just saying, like, same author. I'm ready to go ahead and read this one. I think it's going to be so good. And I love the sprayed edges. I think it's so pretty. And I don't take the stickers off of my books until I actually read them. So that's why quite a few of my Target purchased books have stickers on them. This one. Now, I have been looking, why I also have so many dark mafia romance. That is my favorite dark romance, or it's mafia romance, but I have been looking for a very specific book, and I actually asked one of my friends on TikTok if she could help me find it, if she has read a book like this. And what happens in the book is the FMC gets taken by the enemy, which I know happens plenty of times in dark romance books, and then the MMC like comes home and he realizes she's gone, and he calls in his security team, and he's like, you know, what happened? Like, how did this happen on your watch? Obviously, he was very passionate about it. He wasn't like this. He was very passionate about it. And that is all I know because I saw a blurb on Instagram and I have not been able to find the book. I didn't get the author's name or the title of the book because the page refreshed and it was gone. And it has been driving me crazy. I have looked through every single liked post on my Instagram, every single saved post from 2013 until now. And I don't know what the book is. But this book always pops up every single time that I am searching for said book. And I've had this one for a little while. I hope you guys can see it because I know there's a glare. It is When She Unravels. If there's a glare on the book or something like that while I'm showing you guys the book, I'll have the title somewhere. But I'm thinking that's going to be good. Now, this book falls into the category of books that I have read not knowing, forgetting, ignoring the fact that there's no sequel out, and I was just heartbroken. And this is the third book in the series. I read Between Life and Death on my Kindle a while back, and I remember actually crying when the book was over. The book was that good. First of all, the book was absolutely amazing. But I also had to just sit in my bed for a little while because I realized there was no sequel out at the time. I was heartbroken. I was very sad, and I was very disappointed in myself for not remembering that there was no sequel. This is the third book. Now, I am my own solution, but I choose to be my own problem because there's a fourth book coming within the series, and I could easily just wait for said fourth book to be out, and I don't have to go through this heartbreak, but I'm choosing not to do that. I'm going to go ahead and read it. I'm going to go ahead and read this one. I'm going to be sad, and I'm going to be heartbroken, and then I will read the fourth book. Now, Between the Moon and Her Night is the prequel to Between Life and Death, but it is intended to be read as the third book. I'm also reading what is said right there. I'm just ready. That's it. I'm ready, okay? I also have to say I really like the order that Jacqueline has her books in. I like that it's kind of like you get where you're at now with Between Life and Death, so to speak, but you also get to go back to their past. Like I think it's a good transition of going back and forth between what happened between Sage and Vaughn. It's like a Persephone's and Hades retelling, by the way. I like that you can go back and forth between what happened to them in the past and their fated mates, and they're kind of like, I don't want to give too much away. The book it's amazing, okay? But you get the past, the present, kind of a glimpse into what their future might be like. I don't know. She did a perfect job with that, okay? That's all I have to say. This one. I really like Psycho Shifters, and I know this is a reverse harem, and I like that this is what it says on the back. I'm just a girl, and as it turns out, I'm Hercules. What? And by the way, I do not read the back of the books. When I'm showing you guys the books, I don't read the back at all. I'm just looking at nothing, to be honest, because I don't want to read the back. I don't want to know what the book is about in detail. I want to be surprised. But this one just seems really, really good. Hopefully you guys can see the title of the book. There's a lot of reverse harems. This is another reverse harem, and I am ready to jump into Tate James. I think this is going to be really good. That's it. I don't know anything about this book at all. I just know it's a dark romance, and that was enough to convince me because, again, I'm ready to get back into my dark romance era. Obviously, I've started reading this one because you can see my tabs, my annotations. I just need to finish it because I want to read the whole series. Oh my gosh, I just remembered something that I need to check on. This one has been on my TBR for a little while, and I'm just kind of ready to be sad. I also have the sequel, and it's just that simple. I'm ready to read something that I feel like is going to break my heart. There's another stack left. This one, I just, again, saw the author talking about this book, and I was like, this just seems like something I want to read. And I really like some of the books that I have not read Wattpad books at all. I've read Galatea, and I like those books. So I figure this is, I'm not saying the book is similar, but similar vibe, being that it was on an app first, and then it got made into a book. So how she's described the books is really good. There's, she's working on the third book. I know there's going to be 3 in the series. Look, I know there's this one, and there's a sequel out, and then there's a third book coming. So I want to go ahead and read this one. All I know is that the MMC is the Grim Reaper. This one. Now, funny story. I saw the cover of this book a long time ago in the background of someone's video. They were at Barnes & Noble. They were shopping at Barnes & Noble. I saw this cover, and I was like, I don't know what that book is, but it looks good. And I did not get the author name or anything. I just remember the cover. And then I read A Twist of A Curse of Fate. I read that one. And lo and behold, it's the same author. So I just felt like that was fate for me to find this one. So I'm ready to read this one. It is a shifter romance. I love shifter romances. It is a dark romance that I believe is a dark romance. I love shifter romance books so much. So I'm just ready. I'm ready to read this one. And this one, the series that I know of is completed. I think there's like four books in the series. I have no idea what this one's about, but look at this cover. I thought the cover was just absolutely gorgeous, and that was enough to convince me. That was it. I was like, I like the, that's how I pick books. I pick books based off of the cover. If I know the author already and like a little sentence or a blurb, maybe the tropes, that's how I pick books. But other than that, I go into books just on a whim, a guess. And I'm always pleasantly surprised. Okay, here we go. We're getting into some of the thick books. We have this one. This is in books 1 through 3, Painted Scars, Broken Whispers, Hidden Truths, dark mafia romance. Now I don't usually get books that have the model on the cover, but I like these ones. Usually I like books that it's just like their hand, or maybe their back is turned, they're kind of obscure, maybe, or cartoon covers. I don't usually go with the models on the covers. Nothing to do with how the model looks. They're always like, they always look good. Nothing to do with the model. It's just that I always know what the MMC looks like to me, and sometimes it doesn't match what I see on the cover. Does that make sense? So, and the FMC, if you're wondering, is always me, just with different hair color. This is books 4 through 6. This is Ruined Secrets, Stolen Touches, and Fractured Souls. And then finally, look at how thick this one is. This is books 7 through 9. This is Burned Dreams, Silent Lies, and Darkest Sins. Now there is a 10th book or an 11th book. There's another book coming out. And so I got most of the series, and I'm just excited to go ahead and read. This one is my one that I'm most anticipating, simply because it is the thickest. That is up. And I think he looks cool. I read The Sweetest Oblivion, and I really liked that one, so I'm ready. I'm really excited for this one. Okay, Russian mafia in books is my favorite, okay? That is my favorite. This is Russian. I believe he's Russian as well, and that is why I'm so excited about it. But I heard a little clip of the audiobook, so I went and got the audiobook for this one. I'm ready to go ahead and read the book so I can listen to the audiobook, because that's what I do. I read the books first, then listen to the audiobooks. These ones I'm just excited about. I'm just ready to finish the series. Then we have another thick book, and it is another Russian mafia book. Yay! This is, as you can see, it is the whole series. I don't know how many books are in here, but it's over, we're at 800 pages. I'm good. Now we're getting into some of the books that that are not mafia romance, but after reading Among the Willows, it just kind of rewired my brain of what I wanted to read. Same with like reading Flawless and whatnot. So first up is Done and Dusted. I don't know what this is about, besides it being a cowboy romance. That is it. But I'm convinced that I'm gonna like it. And again, it does not take much to please me, okay? It really doesn't. That is why so many books that I read are 4 and 5 stars, easily. I rarely ever rate a book 3 stars. If I rate a book 3 stars, it's because it was just kind of like, it's not a bad rating. It was just that I read it, and that was pretty much it. It wasn't anything that I felt genuinely really, really connected to. It's like I had a decent time, but I'm ready to move on. 4 and 5 stars are usually what I rate books. It's rare that I rate a book 3 stars. That's what I'm trying to say. It's very rare. I did start this one already. I wanted to read this one, or I'm ready to read this one. All I know with this one is that there is a hand necklace involved, and so that was enough to get me intrigued. And this one is so good, though. This one is funny. This is Brother's Best Friend. I don't know what this one is. I don't know, but first book, second book, and then there is a 3rd and 4th book coming, I think. I also want to read Wolf by Paisley Hope. There are some books on my Kindle that I want to grab. Okay, I love Megan Quinn. Okay, Megan Quinn is one of my favorite authors. I always have a good time. This is hockey romance, and then I want to read Bridesmaid for Hire because I want to read the other books in the series as well. Again, there's always a reason. I always want to continue the series. This is the third book in the hockey romance series that she has, and this is, I believe, is the first book with the Bridesmaid series. And I'm just so I've enjoyed every single Megan Quinn book I have ever picked up. I love them all, okay? And yeah, I'm just excited. I'm so excited for this one. Okay. There's those two, and finally this one. I heard a blurb of the audiobook and I'm like, this is so cute. And guess what? The FMC's name is Alexis. That's enough to convince me. Easily. So, that's it. Those are all the books. Oh, wait, there's one more. But I'm not going to show the whole cover because my mom does watch my videos and there is something on the cover that she is not a fan of. Oh, wait, did I already? No, it'll be fine. I was trying to remember if another one of the books I already showed had that on there, so I'm just going to go like this. This is Original Sinner, and this is the 7 Deadly Sins, but they're all brothers, and they all live in New York, and they have like a high-profile life. Our FMC goes on a rant about Pride, which is Lucifer. She works for him. Whatever she's complaining about gets heard by somebody else and they publish it in an article, and his solution is to convince the public that it's a lover spat. So he tells her, you're going to be my fake fiance. I love fake dating, fake relationships. It is one of my favorite tropes in books, as well as Marriage of Convenience. Okay, so if I had to like pick my top books, it would definitely be fake dating, Marriage of Convenience, and Mafia. Very different. And usually my Mafia books have that in there. So, okay, that's the stack. That's a lot of books, but I'm excited to read some of them next month, and we'll see how it goes, okay? Yeah. All right. That is it. I will see you guys later. Okay. If you've read any of these books, feel free to let me know. Don't give me any spoilers, okay? Please don't give me any spoilers. I don't want to know. And if I think your comment has spoilers on it, I'm not going to read it yet until I've read the book. But yeah, let me know if you've read any of these books or if you're interested in reading any of these books. And I'll see you guys later. Okay, bye.